The concept of cults has fascinated and horrified humanity for centuries. These groups, often led by charismatic figures, have been the subject of extensive study, debate, and concern. While the term cult originally stems from the Latin word cultus, meaning worship or religious practice, modern usage often associates it with groups that exhibit extreme beliefs, manipulative practices, and sometimes dangerous behaviors. This list offers a comprehensive look into various cults, their leaders, and the tactics they employ to indoctrinate and control their members. From the infamous Manson family to the lesser-known Misa Yoga cult in Romania, these groups share common characteristics such as charismatic leadership, isolationist tendencies, and often, a disregard for societal norms and laws. According to Dr. Janja Lalic, an expert on cults, these groups often display a range of social structural, social psychological, and interpersonal behavioral patterns. For example, cult leaders often dictate how members should think, act, and feel. The groups may also have an elitist mentality, claiming special status for themselves and their leaders. Moreover, they often employ manipulative techniques like love bombing to create a sense of belonging among new recruits. Such characteristics resonate with many of the cults mentioned in your list, providing a framework for understanding the complex and often disturbing world of cults. The term cult is derived from the Latin word cultus, which means worship or religious practice. Charles Manson led the Manson Family, a cult responsible for a series of murders in 1969, including that of actress Sharon Tate. The People's Temple, led by Jim Jones, resulted in the Jonestown Massacre, where over 900 people died due to mass murder-suicide in 1978. Aum Shinrikyo, a Japanese cult, carried out a sarin gas attack on the Tokyo subway in 1995. The Branch Davidians, led by David Koresh, were involved in a 51-day standoff with the FBI in Waco, Texas, ending in a fire that killed 76 people. The Heaven's Gate cult believed in the existence of extraterrestrial life and committed mass suicide in 1997, thinking they would be taken to a better life by a spacecraft. The Thuggee cult in India was a secret cult of robbers and murderers who were eventually suppressed by the British colonial administration in the 19th century. Scientology, founded by L. Ron Hubbard, has often been described as a cult, although it identifies itself as a religion. The Order of the Solar Temple believed in the Second Coming of Christ as a solar god king and carried out several murder-suicides. The Children of God cult, also known as the Family, advocated for using sex to show God's love and drew considerable controversy for allegations of child abuse. The Unification Church, often called the Moonies, was founded in South Korea by Sun Myung Moon and is known for its mass wedding ceremonies. The term brainwashing is often used to describe the coercive techniques employed by many cults to indoctrinate members. Some cults use love bombing, a tactic where new recruits are showered with affection to create a sense of belonging. Ngzivum was an American cult that disguised itself as a self-help organization and involved instances of sexual slavery. Some psychologists have developed models to identify the stages of cult indoctrination, including recruitment, isolation, and reprogramming. Rajneeshpuram was an intentional community in Oregon led by the spiritual teacher Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, later known as Osho. The Manson family cult believed in Helter Skelter, an apocalyptic race war that Charles Manson claimed was prophesied by the Beatles. Synanon started as a drug rehabilitation program but later evolved into a cult, introducing a practice known as the game, which was a form of public humiliation. Fields, or the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is a breakaway Mormon sect that practices polygamy. Many cults have charismatic leaders who claim to have unique insights or divine authority. Some cults promote apocalyptic beliefs, often claiming that the end of the world is imminent. The Aghori sect in India practices extreme rituals, including cannibalism, to attain spiritual enlightenment. The Church of the Lamb of God, led by Ervil LeBaron, was responsible for murders and other crimes in the 1970s and 1980s. Some cults, like the Order of the Solar Temple, have been involved in financial fraud and other illegal activities to fund their operations. The Raelian movement claims that life on Earth was created by extraterrestrials. Some cults use sleep deprivation as a technique to break down individual willpower. Cargo cults emerged in Melanesia, believing that ancestral spirits would deliver material goods, cargo. The Symbionese Liberation Army was a cult-like organization that kidnapped heiress Patty Hearst in 1974. Some scholars differentiate between destructive cults and benign cults, based on the level of harm they inflict on members. The Rajneeshis, followers of Osho, carried out the largest bioterror attack in U.S. history by contaminating salad bars in Oregon with salmonella. The Misa yoga cult in Romania gained notoriety for its practice of erotic yoga. Cults often employ us versus them thinking to create a strong group identity. Some mainstream religions have offshoots or sects that are often classified as cults due to their extreme beliefs or practices. The Kabbalah Center has been criticized for cult-like behavior despite being rooted in Jewish mysticism. The Bhagwan movement, or Osho movement, became known for its luxurious lifestyle, including a collection of Rolls-Royce cars for its leader. Vissarion, a Russian man claiming to be the reincarnation of Jesus Christ, led the Church of the Last Testament. The 12 Tribes community is an intentional religious community that has faced accusations of child labor and abuse. Some cults maintain a strong online presence, using social media and online forums for recruitment. The Maulawi order, or whirling dervishes, are a Sufi order that practices ritualistic dances, but they are generally not considered a cult in the destructive sense. Many cults engage in miracle performances or displays of magical abilities to attract followers. The Aetherius Society believes in cosmic masters, who supposedly reside on other planets. The Falun Gong movement in China was labeled a heretical organization by the Chinese government and is subject to persecution. Some cults prohibit or strictly regulate romantic relationships between members, aiming to control emotional attachments. Exit counseling is a strategy used to help people leave cults and reintegrate into mainstream society. Spiritual abuse is a term often used to describe manipulative practices in cults that exploit members' religious or spiritual beliefs. The Church Universal and Triumphant stockpiled weapons in preparation for an expected apocalypse in the late 1980s. The movement for the restoration of the Ten Commandments of God, a Ugandan cult, ended in a mass murder-suicide involving hundreds of followers in 2000. Many cults rewrite or reinterpret religious texts to suit their own doctrines. The Ku Klux Klan, while often categorized as a hate group, has cult-like characteristics including rituals, symbolism, and an authoritarian structure. Some cults, like the Brethren, require members to cut off all contact with the outside world, including family and friends. From ancient secret societies to modern-day self-help groups turned manipulative, the allure of belonging, purpose, and enlightenment continues to draw individuals into these enigmatic circles. While some cults may appear benign or even beneficial at first glance, the underlying themes of control, manipulation, and exploitation are almost universally present. Understanding the characteristics and tactics of these groups is crucial for both academic study and public awareness. As society becomes increasingly interconnected through technology, the potential for cults to recruit and operate in new, more sophisticated ways grows. Continued vigilance, research, and education are essential in recognizing and combating the harmful effects of cults on individuals and society at large.